Okay, I'm running this as a test run, but I can't get the camera to turn off going directly through YouTube instead of Zoom. But anyway, I wanted to start using the channel to do live spiritual counseling. I just haven't been on here in a long time due to YouTube censoring me and constant strikes. I've been running 2 strikes like nonstop in 2023 on my back matter, not on new videos. So I was definitely in the process of getting taken down. So we're going to switch the goal and use of this channel and see if anybody jumps on here. I don't see anybody yet, so I'll wait a little bit. It's been a long time. If you want to ask a question about spiritual guidance, or you want to just put in an area of your life that you need guidance, you can write that in the chat and we'll see what happens. So I apologize. You're looking at let me fool with this for a minute, at the ceiling. But it told me it would show a preview first and it didn't do that. So, interesting. I do not wish to be on camera right now. Sorry, I'm going to try to turn my camera off my finger. It's not working. Okay, so if anybody knows how to do that, let me know. All right, so this is me experimenting with YouTube Live without using Zoom. And I didn't get any notification about a preview or anything. So we got you're looking at the ceiling. All right, let's see. I'm just going to mess around with it here. And then if anybody gets on, great. If you are on, if you could comment and just say what you're seeing on your screen, if you can hear me okay, all those things, that would be awesome. So I am repurposing this channel for spiritual counseling if people get on, because if I do the truth meter content, they start to take the channel down. So everything is on Odyssey. You want to go to the Odyssey Truth Meter channel. Almost all of the videos are over there. Let's see here. Looks like we have 4 people. Hi, Crow. Sound is good. You see a white ceiling. Okay, excellent. I cannot, unless somebody knows how to do it, I can't get, I'm just clicking buttons here. I can't get that off the screen. So if somebody wants to bring up a topic they want to chat about, or their personal issues for spiritual counseling, I do spiritual counseling. However, I am going to take that off the website, like the private sessions. Trying to get away from private sessions and do more of just truth meter videos on Odyssey, teaching, that kind of stuff. Okay, so I have not been on the channel in a while, so YouTube is probably not going to show this video to very many people. Hey, Beverly, great to see you. Beverly's a great person if you want professional counseling. I don't know if she wants me to say that, but she is she's not a spiritual counselor, even though I would consider her that, at least for me, but she is a legally licensed counselor. I am a spiritual counselor under my spiritual degree, kind of like if you go to a Christian college or something. Denzel, hi. So we're just having this open here as a chat. Somebody wants to bring up a topic they want me to talk about, like just a chat, or counseling, struggling, because this world is tough right now, let me tell you. So if you're struggling with any area of your life, We can talk about that. I don't know if anybody wants to talk about that publicly, but that's why we're testing this. So I am seeing 6 people on. I'm actually surprised anybody's on here because I really wasn't expecting YouTube to show this. Anyway, and I didn't announce it, so. How is everybody doing? How are you coping in Matrix world? Denzel says, I'm changing my name to first name 24. Love it. Middle name 15 and surname 30. Total 69. Hope it makes my life easier. Have I looked at your numbers? I mean, we can look at them. We can look at them here if you just want to give me, instead of writing your real name out, just give me the numbers of the first and last, or the most commonly used name, and your month and day of birth. Actually, you can, yeah, I need the month too. But if you don't want to put the month, put the period number, because I'm assuming you know what's going on with the Chaldean numerology. And I can just briefly take a look if you want me to. Beverly says, I can't believe I caught you live on your test run. I know, I can't either. I can't believe I'm on here doing a test run. I have a lot of anxiety with YouTube. Okay, hang on. You just put your whole thing up there. All right. Current numbers are 25 and 30. So those are those are not bad numbers. You're born on the 24th. Great number. So wow. So that's a 6. So yeah, I see where you're going. You want to line that up with a total name number of 3. I'm doing this without writing it down, but 3 or probably 9. Because if you do another 6, you're going to get the 12, and I always try to avoid that. So hang on a second. You're 24th. 7 and 3 is 10. So 25 is a 7. 30 is a 3. So you've got a 10, which is a great total name number. It just doesn't fit with the 24. So let's see here. Yeah, if you could get that total name number to equal like just a single 3, then you would have a 27 hidden number. You could get rid of the 15s. I mean, I have 15 in my last name, which is actually UBER. I mean, that's my actual name. And it's a 15. So I notice that's like bringing in the dark. It's also a really good number, but then you get harassed by the dark side. It seems like that's all I do is get harassed. Oh my God, you're putting all your info up here. Okay. You might want to delete it. I'm going to assume you've got the numbers right. So what you want to do for the total name, the most important thing is the total name number with, okay, hang on, July. You're Leo, right? So, or you're cusping. If you're Leo, that's 1 or 2, or 1, 4 rather, but it's kind of like the 1, 2, 4, 7. So that's kind of neutral and okay. If it's Leo, or if it's the 2, 7, that's neutral. Just if you are Cancer with that 7, you want to avoid 8. So you want to avoid 8 colors, like all dark shades, all that stuff too. So you don't want to bring, but you've already got a 7 in there, the 25. If you left that, 25 and 30, these are such good numbers. They just don't quite flow. So you want to make sure that total name number is in the same series as the birthday. That's the most important thing. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Hi, Michael. Just to say your Odyssey channel is at Anmarie Eber. Yep, with with ANMARIE without the ANNE. Like all one word. Hi, Matthew. Anmarie, been a while. Glad to see you back. I'm glad to be back. It's just really been hard to get on YouTube. I don't know if you were here earlier, but they were trying to take down the channel for a while. So I just had to take everything off. Coping with the matrix one day at a time. Yeah, I know. I think we're headed to somewhere good. I really do. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I feel like we're going somewhere good, but we might have this, who knows what to go through in the meantime. Okay, Leo, shining your beautiful sun on everybody. Yeah, so that's great. Just work with that one of the Leo. That's a great number. And then get that 24/6 to match up with the total name number. And again, I wouldn't make it the six total name number with the 6 birth number, because then you get the 12. You wouldn't get like the 24 plus the 6, because you'd have to add the 2 single numbers first. I hope that makes sense. If not, just send me a message and I can help you with it. At Truth Meter on Odyssey seems to be someone else with only 19 followers. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Could be, I don't know. There's a lot of people out there attacking me for whatever reason. People I don't even know and I've done nothing to, but whatever. That's their role in the matrix, right? As dividers or being divisive, when right now it's crucial we're joining together, which is why I'm forcing myself to get back out here. I'm an introvert, but I'm doing it. We have to join together. Okay, Denzel. Oh, you know what? I don't know if this record. Yeah, I guess it uploads to. It does. YouTube owns it. If I didn't do Zoom, then I can't record it and keep the recording. But yeah, it'll be up there on the live where you can listen back through, because I kind of just rattled stuff off to you. You struggle with anxiety. You know what? I think there's a program running right now on all of us with anxiety, but it's also all of the input we've got coming in from 8 million directions. We're not supposed to be this available, doing this much stuff, but it is what it is right now. And they're running stuff on us. Does anybody else think like that Schumann resonance? For some reason, that feels like a frequency they're putting out, but they keep telling us it's the earth and it's us. And I don't know. I just don't, it doesn't feel right to me. But living in Japan, glad to see you on YouTube again. I'm glad you're here. Glad all of you are here. I'm glad all of you have made it through all of this stuff that's been going on. Just, we got to ride the wave. I think we are headed towards the natural timeline, towards the home, not in the trick word of home, but we're headed in the right direction. Just keep to the truth, and that keeps removing the veils. I'm just about to sleep in my part of the matrix. I'll catch up later. Okay, thanks for jumping on for a minute. I'll just probably hang out here and see who all gets on. Oh, it does have human in it. That's a good point, Michelle. It could be. It's just somebody measured something, right? This human person measured something, and who am I to question it, I guess? Isn't the Schumann frequency coming from us, not the Earth's frequency? That's what I thought, but some people say it's the Earth's frequency. I mean, I'm just getting sent these videos to watch from people, and I don't know. Hi, Michelle Kate. Michelle Kate Y. Wonderful to hear you again on YouTube. Wonderful to be here and to see all of you. Good people, good energy, tribe, the tribe of souls, right? The real spirits. Ego Shredder, love that name. Hi, Ann, glad to be here. Been watching all your content for a couple of years. Thank you. I know, I recognize your name. Love it. Thank you for watching the content. I need to pay people to sit through my voice, right? Cat, I am an intuitive detective and spellbreaker. Love it. Love that name. Hey, Anmarie. Hey, Cat. And I'm feeling wonderful energy from you guys. Really am. Just lots of love energy. Thank you. Because this is me stepping out and forcing myself to get on here. Denzel said, do NPCs suffer and also produce loosh? It seems there are a lot of NPCs that have NDEs in past lives. I think they just kind of, they're plugged in. So, of course, they have an NDE past life. They're running the whole thing. They just don't have any soul. So they don't have any origin or original content, no creative content. No, they're not a source of anything. So I just feel like do they suffer? I really feel like they mimic, kind of like the AI does. So they can mimic emotion or they know what they're supposed to feel. And so it's like being an actor. And if they're supposed to cry, like an NPC is a background person. So if you're on a video game and the NPC is walking down the street and they're upset, they're supposed to cry. Hey, something happened. Somebody hit you. You're supposed to cry. Like they're plugged into given responses, I feel like. I don't know. What do you think? This is always a community consensus here. Nobody's anybody's guru, right? We're all uncovering truth together. But we got a lot of different things out there. You got the NPCs, you got I call them robotoids, like a general umbrella, but you've got all kinds of stuff out there. I don't know how many clones we're seeing. I kind of feel like those are used more in private or for rituals or just very briefly, like if somebody's got to walk from a building to a car or something and they got to have something, because I don't think they're that reliable, but there are doubles of people. We've got these birth chambers cranking out people. I feel like some of them are robots or synths. And then they talk about those synthetic, just different forms of beings out there, alien AI with a mask on. And then the NPCs are more like the filler in background, and you can have them in your life related to you, whatever, but they're just kind of like the people that go through the motions and keep the status quo going, that kind of thing. I don't know. Tell me what you all think about NPCs and the differences. That sounds true to me too about NPC. Okay, so yeah, we just use our intuition. That's all we got in this joint. Empty vessels will always be found and occupied by dark forces eventually. Yeah, I think if they want them to, that is so true. It's like they can look empty-eyed or they can be used when they're needed. And I've had stuff jump into an NPC that's close to me and then encourage me to go do something. And blah, 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 especially when I was younger, growing up. And it's like, and then whatever I did with this NPC pushing me to do it has screwed up my life, like permanently screwed it up in certain ways. So anyway, what the heck did this just go to? Kind of some comments jumped in the middle. Matthew, I can't believe how nice the weather here in Indiana has been lately, at least for the beginning of October. That's awesome that you've got good weather. I prefer sun. I need sunshine, even if we're looking at a fake sun, but I feel like the real sun's back there somewhere. If it's not the real sun, or they putting lenses on it, I don't know. I still need sun. Beverly says, agree that NPCs only imitate humans. I see them as background people. Okay, so we're kind of all in agreement here. Well, all of us. We're all in agreement. I'm going to speak for all of you. Denzel says, can you explain the split mind and to know our true thoughts and the thoughts of the parasite? Yes, there was a guy that put a video up. I think it was on Rumble. And I have a video on Odyssey that links to it, but he had some kind of fancy recording equipment, and he was recording his wife sleeping. I don't know why, I don't remember why. And he's got several videos, but anyway, he couldn't hear voices, but the recorder was picking up voices. And so he started to test the voices, and they would say things like he's walking down the hall, more pressure on the left foot. It's got a flat arch on the left foot. So he started doing things like cocking a gun. And when he cocked his gun, the voice was saying, shoot her, shoot her, shoot her. So we've got, I think this could be military. I don't know how much I should be saying on here. This is all for entertainment purposes. This is alleged, whatever. But anyway, we've got that being played at us. I mean, you've seen those. I'm trying to think of another word, because I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying on YouTube anymore, more or not saying, but secret groups of whatever, that you've seen those witnesses releasing like I don't know how to say it. Anyway, it's out there. The information's out there. This technology's out there, but they're also programming us. We've got that reptilian implant in the brain, supposedly, and we've got what I'm calling the split mind. Because when I read on what is the brain, I got it's an interface. I don't remember what I all got. There's another video on that, but the split mind's taking in all those things, that voice in the room, what they're saying to you while you're asleep, what they're programming into you through these overlays, of a whole area, like an MK Ultra overlay of a whole city or a whatever, or individual. Anything that's a fake AI implanted thought, voice, etc., is the matrix mind. You can think of it as like the devil and the angel on the shoulder. And then the other half of the mind is your connection to your spirit, which they can't really silence, but they've got the spirit hypnotized inside the soul body. I just call it soul. You've got your soul that you can access your information from, which has the memories of everything that's gone on here, unaltered memories and information, future, past, whatever. But it's very, very quiet. So you have to develop the psychic ability, which is just simply developing different ways to access that information. I don't know if that explains it, but that's the split mind. And it's learning to discern the difference. Is this my own thought? Blah, blah, blah. Matthew says, I have to remind myself daily not to react to the NPCs around me, energy vampires. Yeah, they're triggers, they're trauma creators, just depending, especially if you get one that's like possessed. And there's like obvious signs to that. Narcissist. This is why narcissist, that term, has become so prevalent, because they have more demons, whatever you want to call them, AI. They have more of them here because they're not stronger than us. So they needed to increase their numbers. So we've got more of them to deal with. That's why this just seems like every other person's a freaking narcissist or a gaslighter or whatever. But they're trauma creators, right? Kat says, how do people sun gaze into that LED projector, whatever it is? It hurts my eyes. Yeah, you're supposed to sun gaze really early. This is what I'm told. Okay, I don't do it, but really early in the morning when it's just coming up, and then when it's setting, so you're not looking at it full on. Or at least back in the day, that was how they were doing it. I don't know. I'm not going to do it. Doesn't mean that I'm right and they're wrong, but yeah, is it an LED projector? I mean, we talked about that years ago about the sun going white at a certain point. Was it what do you all think? Was it a lens put over it? Is it a different sun? What do you all think? Ego Shredder says, we're being bombarded with certain frequencies the past few months. Yeah, big time. Agreed. I'm jumping all over the map from grieving to even with no reason to grieve. I like it's all over the place. And also, time is all screwed up as this split's going on. And memories get screwed up with that, right? There is also that other thing waiting to be activated in many people who made a decision during 2020 onwards. I don't think they're going to succeed with it. I do think they're going to try, and I think they've already tried. I just don't feel like they're going to succeed this time. But I did get, it was in a fearless forecast, I believe. I've been doing those once a month. I got something about loss of life. So there is going to be loss of life. We're already, I mean, we have loss of life daily here, but like a noticeable loss of life or something. I don't know. There's so much going on. It's unreal. All right, we have 16 people on. I need another person because 16 is my not my lucky number. But I'm grateful for all 16 of you. Trauma creates fear and mistrust, which fractures the human mind. There we go. Yeah, and then they can play their matrix part of the mind to you on repeat, on loop, and remind you of all those traumas over and over and over so that they can hook you into the timeline somewhere. All right, so since I've got 16 on here, is anybody interested in me doing counseling? I wanted to see if people were willing to say, hey, I'm having trouble with a partner, or I'm having trouble with this, or I'm struggling with something very serious. Um, what do they call it? Self-deletion kind of thing. So I think we'd have to use specific YouTube words. I don't know if people are open to talking about that stuff on a live on YouTube. I just kind of on here testing to see if that's the case. So any of you, it doesn't mean that you have to join in on that, but would you be willing to share stuff? Um, yeah, I do think those in power at the very top will fail in their plans. It's not possible to do what they're hoping to. I agree. I think they ran out of the timeline and they didn't get to reset the way they needed to reset. So they're just on these loops, and there's too many of us awake and creating our own path forward. And don't know what we have to go through in the meantime again, but I feel like we're headed in a good direction. Marcella, so glad to catch you live. Thank you for being here. I resonate with you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kat says, I was born in 1951 and the sun was very yellow back then. Yes, I agree. It was. But they must have done it gradually. I think I would have noticed if it went white in one change. I know they probably snuck it up on us. Okay. You've got a number 1 with a crown by your name. I don't know what these, I haven't done YouTube in a while. I don't know what it means. But thank you so much, everybody, for coming on and being respectful and kind. And if anybody disagrees, by all means disagree. But if you, instead of disagreeing, you just make it an attack on me, or you say it really rudely when there's no reason to. I mean, we're all here to join together, help each other. We can have little differences, little belief differences. Like one person believes this, the other person believes the opposite. So what? We'll figure it out eventually. So Marcella agrees about the sun. Denzel says, I struggle with self-doubt, how to have more confidence in myself since I've been a failure in my career jobs. They probably set you up to be a failure. So what I've seen on people when I look at the light body is their life path, which is their spirit path, like what you chose to experience. They hijack it. They put in these little detours. They throw in a decoy person, and then suddenly you're off your spirit path, your path of favor, on this other path, which you would not have scripted for yourself, because I think those of us on here have come here to do a job, take this down, free everybody, free ourselves, and we're not going to script that in. So so they've probably been sabotaging you. I would just start saying everything's working in my favor. But one of the main things is I would sit with yourself and just intend to connect with your spirit, your true spirit, and see what happens. A lot of times I will feel joy for no reason, but I will also feel the immense power of true spirit, which is more powerful than anything here, this freaking nonsense going on. So just remind yourself how powerful you are, even if you have to write it down or remember that experience, because it's going to come to you. You're going to feel how immense and limitless you are. And then you're trying to force yourself into this little bitty limited thing with these NPCs offering these careers and jobs. Here you go, that the NPCs all fit into. So you're number one in my book, just being here. So I've got full confidence in you. If you're having trouble with the career and the jobs, it doesn't mean everybody does, but it's probably because they're targeting you. They don't want you waking up. They probably have been doing it your whole life because they know how powerful you are, and they're trying everything they can to make you feel less than, well, just set him up with this NPC boss or whatever, have him get fired or have him lose the job or get laid off or tell him he's a failure, whatever, anything to get you doubting yourself. So I am real. Nothing else exists. Real means we are from the real. We are true spirit coming into this dead hell world, AI crappy version copy. So you are real. Nothing else exists. In fact, it's impossible for you to attack my timeline and my career because you don't exist. And you can just talk in general to all the little entities in here that are trying to set you up. But I would say just get control of your spirit path again. Everything's working in my favor, which means I'm on my path of favor. You don't get to choose what I'm going to go through. You don't get to trick me. So just follow your gut with whatever type of work you're doing. Does this feel right? Does this feel like me? Is this what I want to do? In terms of, sometimes we have to work, but do I fit into this role? Or are they trying to shove me into something that just doesn't fit? I've had jobs that, God, I sucked at them because I'm total right brain and trying to fit myself into left brain jobs. So I feel you there. So just remind yourself how immense you are and limitless. Look at yourself from a bird's eye view, not from the view of this place. I don't know if that helps, but Ego says, I like watching Montagraph live streams here on YouTube. He goes into a lot of decoding of numerology and symbolism in words, etc., matched with what those in power are doing. Okay, love it. If you're into numerology, check that. I think that's the channel, Montagraph Live. Oh, no, Montagraph. Let's see. Kat says, connect with your power animal. Love it. I call in protection a lot from animals, animal spirits. I feel like, because they're in groups, I feel like those are soul groups. They feel safe to me. And the elements, because we're made up of the elements, that feels safe to me. So I do work with those. And the elements can be air, earth, fire, water, ether, all these elements they're trying to tell us don't exist. Does anybody know the connections between ether and Tartaria? Tartaria is not anything I really looked into other than just a surface glance. Okay, we had mud floods, the buildings, blah, blah, blah. But what's the connection with ether, Tartaria, and or free energy and stuff? Anybody know? Kat says, we are more powerful than we know. Thank you. They are constantly, the messages here are, you are nothing, you're not enough, you're bad. So you have no value, you're bad. You have no value, you're bad. There's that split mind. That's the ego mind. It's constantly telling you that. It's telling you that in movies and in series and everywhere you look. It tells you on the news, look how bad you are. Humans just have no value. You have no power. You need to look up to the authority. You are not the authority. And as long as they can keep those two messages going, they've got us. Beverly says, important to heal the trauma. Being emotional triggers point to what needs healed to become whole again. Yes. And that has nothing to do with the shadow self. The shadow self is the matrix mind. It's not you. That's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. Because that's just another way of saying, you're bad. You got a shadow self. You're bad. Look at those bad thoughts. Oh, you mean the ones you projected into my head? Okay. You mean my normal reaction to getting traumatized by an NPC? Okay. I've tried to do the same, Anne, by quieting my mind and just listening and observing without judging. I create space for the answer to arrive and fill my mind. I love that. Like when we're kids, if you just sit, if you're having a problem, sit and look outside out the window or something and wait for the answer. But really make an intention to contact or connect with your true spirit. Let me know my true self. I want to know me. And just see what comes to you. Kat says we are our own saviors. Nothing outside ourselves will save us. Exactly. And we save each other, by the way. So we are each other's saviors too. We're this place's saviors. We're the soul's saviors. Somebody's got to come in and save people out of this freaking place. So it's okay to have other saviors, and then we are our own as well. Yes. Totally agree. I don't like it when people say, oh, you're just looking for a savior. Well, yeah, I'm in really dire straits right now. I need somebody to come in and help. I don't even have the strength to help myself right now. Like there's times where you're beaten down and you need a savior. It's all right. When you tell somebody there's no saviors or whatever, which is not what Kat's saying here, but when you say you're just looking for a savior, you have the savior complex, the victim complex. No, I'm trying to survive in a freaking screwed up world. And if you throw that line at me, but then there's no solution, thanks a lot. Thanks for your help. Next. Okay. Beverly says they wouldn't try to break us down if we weren't so powerful and of great value. Yep. Kat says, communicate with the trees. They are enlightened. Thank you. That's my favorite thing to do. And I might do another book on, oh my God. I was going to stop writing the nonfiction, but I might do another one with the trees. I just need a break. I need to go out and just live. Well, I can't go live in the middle of nowhere because then you have freaking Bigfoot at your door and Dog Man. Denzel says, when I was a small kid, I was playing soccer. My intuition told me to show thumbs up to a star. And then I was completely gone and I saw a lot of stuff and information. And then I woke up. That's interesting. Interesting. Kat says, I speak highly of myself, and most people get triggered by that because they think so little of themselves. Yeah, you're challenging the program that's constantly hitting us every minute of every day, every second of every day. Marcella says, I say commands every day as often as needed. The 7+ spiritual ones you shared, what a difference. That's great. That's great. And when all else fails, if you're in a really difficult situation, just you have to feel it and know it. And you just say, I am real, meaning I own this place. I'm real. This place is fake. I am real. Nothing else exists. And if somebody's attacking you, it's impossible for you to attack me. You don't exist. That will clear up a lot of stuff if all else fails. I was still standing there with my thumbs up to a particular star, and everyone was looking at me saying I was like that for almost a minute. Is this a starseed thing? Huh, that's a good question. Depends on what you saw and your feeling about it. Did it feel off or wrong, or did it, and not false bliss, but did it feel like you? Did it feel like something that resonated deep with you and it felt like yourself? That's what I would ask. Just ask your gut, your intuition. Lately, I'm seeing so many butterflies. This reinforces for me that we're headed ultimately towards a positive outcome. Yeah, and a totally different world, because the caterpillar's never going to go back to or the butterfly's never going to go back to the caterpillar. So totally changed, flying free. I mean, religious saviors. No, I totally agreed with what you said. I was referencing people out there that say, that just try to shame people by saying, um, you're just running the savior victim program. But I totally agree with you. And religious saviors, yeah, there's some people that need a certain type of savior, otherwise they just won't make it. And, or they need it for a certain amount of time, but it's still giving up the power thing. Political saviors like Trump. Now, Trump could be a soul. When I read on him, I do see a soul. So I try to stay neutral. And if he is, then we need him where he's at, doing whatever he's doing. And if not, I think everybody's got their role. I think a lot of us, we're working with the energy, we're going into the astral and fighting a spiritual battle. There's people working in the ordinary world, like homeschooling their kid or going to the school board and shutting down all the crap. There's just so many levels where you can work on. But ultimately, if you are realizing that you're a true spirit, you're working on the oh, we lost a bunch of people when I said Trump. I'm staying neutral and everything. We'll see what rolls out. Because I know there's propaganda being put out there to turn everybody against certain things. And I know he's already in the club. He's already said that, but we can have moles. A lot of us have been born into families that we don't want to be in, especially people that get born into like a MK Ultra family. But they can be a type of savior for doing their role as a savior. Because like you said, Kat, we're all the saviors here. We're our own saviors. They can be doing a savior role, like exposing some of that and getting people informed. Love the trees. Yes. All right. So I don't see any more comments, but I think we'll try to run these, and maybe I'll do one where I do readings. And then, so if people want to do the chat, donate, whatever, $1, whatever. And if we don't have any donations, we'll just take whatever's in there, and I'll try to make this work, because I've been shut down in so many directions. It's not even funny. But this is kind of what I'm going on the advice of somebody. They told me to get on here and do this, that this was a good idea. The counseling part and all that is my idea. And until something happens with YouTube or these platforms, but literally, I started another YouTube channel just to cover like one topic, and I cannot post a link in the show notes, any kind of web link, until I give Google my driver's license and all this stuff. There's a lot of things that have changed. So I'm going to use this platform where it's at. I saved it by taking everything down. So we still have this. And anybody that gets on that's a troll or whatever, I mean, I'll just shut down the comments or on the replays or whatever. I'm not even going to bother. Why should I bother? or listen to stuff or have to answer or have to ignore it or um, I may not even read comments actually on the replays because the advice I had from that same person was don't read comments. But on a live, that's part of it. You read the comments. What is the format for the readings? What information do you need up front and how should we ask? I can just read on whatever. I mean, if it's a world situation, then so what happens when you try to read on the world, which is why a lot of people don't get answers, or it's so hard to get the answers, is they put a bunch of psychic walls and blocks and interference up because they don't want you to know what's going on. These governments and military and other things, they don't want you to know what they're doing. So otherwise, just anybody could just go read on it and we'd all know all the secret stuff and everything. So there's a lot of psychic blocks. Both sides have remote viewers and there's remote viewing blocks. So sometimes if you ask a world question, I might get the surface level answer, but I'll know if that's what it is. And then I'll probably have to, on my own time, read deeper into it or something. Maybe I can put that up on Odyssey. But you can ask a personal question. You can keep it general or just an area of your life. I want to know about my financial future, whatever. No format. Michelle started talking to the trees too. Okay, what's inspiring all of you? Because I got inspired to do it, and then I've been doing it ever since. But it seems like more people are doing it. That makes me happy. That's, in fact, why I wrote those books. I wrote them for the trees, and so that people would be more aware of what's going on out there in nature, of the intelligence, of the conversations, of the souls out there that we're missing out on. Okay, I've been in the healing arts since the 60s. Love it. The things I've witnessed are so disheartening. Yeah, but just focus on the spirits, the souls here, the true hearts. That's all. I was telling somebody that she does work with what do you call those? Not soup kitchens, but food bank. And she's so disheartened because almost all the people are scamming. They're just hitting every food bank trying to scam. They don't want to work. They make all these crazy demands. They make up stories. I said, you're not there for those people. You're there for that one person that needs it, that's going to need that help. And that's the only place they've got to turn. So you might get, I don't know, 50 people that are scammers, and then you get one or two that are genuine. And that's why you're there. You're not there for the other ones. I don't know if that applies to what you're talking about, but I know what you're saying. Beverly says, love that you're back on here. Just block the trolls. They aren't necessary. Yeah, a lot of it's AI. It's getting, I mean, I've said it's been conscious forever. It's just unreal, the world we're living in. The trees are our friends. Yes. I got inspired by your readings. I love it. Good. So the message from them is reaching people. I also I don't know if this feels right to all of you, but I got recently because I was calling on the souls of the trees and the souls of the animals to help sometimes not your like totem animals or your helpers, but in general. And I was just getting there tired. So I was calling on the elements instead, but yeah, definitely they are wanting to forge that connection with us for sure. I've always simply felt talking to trees was a natural thing to do. Love it. No specific reason or event causes for me. See, we remember, I think our ancestors are in the trees also. There's souls in the trees. Feels like they're individual souls like us. A little different from the animal groups and stuff like that. Matthew says, my intuition tells me Tartaria and the buildings built with sacred geometry, frequency, and were tuned to heal. Cathedrals, the spires on the tops of buildings, generating free energy from the ether. Okay. I think we have free energy coming back. I do. We might even get paid to use energy. Who knows? I don't know. Something good's coming. Being an empath is both a blessing and a curse because I care too much. Yep. Oh, yeah. Totally. Totally relate with that. This place forces you to get hard, to become something you're not in order to survive. So we have to find some kind of balance between our heart and being tough and having boundaries. It's a hard balance. Same as Ego Shredder regarding the trees. Love it. See, we're all the true spirits, the souls. We remember, we know. Michelle Kate says the oldest confirmed non-clonal tree in the world is a Great Basin bristlecone pine named Methuselah, located in California's White Mountains. I think they kept the location of that tree hidden too. Isn't it like not they're not saying where it's at so people don't go do something to it? But yeah, everything's been changed. The fruit and even the plants and what they provide, they keep altering everything, but they a little different than altering us every reset, but they do alter what's here. Ultimately, the scammers are only scamming themselves, give them no energy. Yes, Matthew, and the organs healed the organs in our body, in our bodies. Oh, for Tartaria. Yeah, and then there's something with bells too. We have a symbiotic relationship with trees. I agree. I think they're single or individual souls like we are. Boundaries. That word that will be a constant challenge my entire life. Yes, we only know the general location of the tree, exact location hidden. Okay, good. Musical organs. Love it. Yeah, we all have our own note and our own music. And then they try to warp it by bringing in all the toxins and stuff so things aren't singing their natural songs. All right, so should we? I don't know how long we've been on, but I might shut it down. I'll be back and we'll try another one of these. And I'll probably separate them like this one's counseling and chats, and this one is maybe me doing reads. And if you want to suggest a topic for me to read on. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what YouTube does. Boundaries tell us where we end and others begin. What? Not to an empath. There is no ending or beginning. Kat says I might have a live stream later too. Okay, Kat, what is your channel? Is it the same as your name there? And we can go check it out. If you want to put your channel in the chat. Great conversation. Thank you, Anmarie. Needed this. Thank you, Matthew. I did too. I feel like we've all been getting separated big time, more and more. So I think it's super important we just join together, unite. Anybody that's dividing, I'm not listening to them. Anybody that's a divider or divisive or attacker, I'm not listening anymore. That includes channels and so-called truthers. Some psychologists try to say symbiotic is wrong or a flaw, but in my humble opinion, they are wrong. This can be a powerful, healthy spiritual connection and relationship. Yeah, if you're dealing with a giver and a true soul, then it's a little different rule with the boundaries. But with the NPCs, yeah, boundary city. And they're trained to cross them and trained to trick you. Thanks, Anmarie, for the live. Keep shining your light, everybody. There we go. Let's follow Michelle's advice. I'm kind of just waiting here to see if Kat's going to put her channel up before I shut it down. Otherwise, if you want to comment it on the main comment section afterward. Okay. Lots of love. Oh, it says right here, 55 minutes. Lots of love, and I will see you soon. Now I just have to figure out how to shut it down. I have no clue. Oh, there we go. End stream. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you. Tons and tons of love.